right. We got quads. Before we get in there, we can talk about the lift. I think yesterday I talked about peptides. The day before that I talked about peptides as well. Today we'll actually talk about the train a little bit before we get in there. Because if I have to guess, 7 o'clock on a Monday, pretty busy in there. And I don't know, I might have to get some camera angles where I might not be able to talk just because I don't want to have people in the background and shit. People will be upset, whatever. But, yeah. What we're going to do is quad extensions, leg press, belt squat, calves, abs. That's it. That seems like a very super simple workout, which it is. Just I make up for the lack of exercise with just more volume on each set, or more volume on each exercise. So it's like 4 sets of everything. So like 12 total sets. If you want to do like, I don't know, 6 different quad exercises and 2 sets of each, go for it. Do you have to? No. As long as you're checking a few boxes within the exercise you do pick. As long as you get something that's like an extension movement. I guess some options of that is obviously quad extension. Sissy squats is pretty much an extension. Those 2. And then if you get like a pressing movement in there, like some type of leg press. And then throw in some type of squatting movement, right? And then basically we'll check the boxes for everything for your quads, without having to overcomplicate it, right? Because I know every exercise is a little bit different than this, a little bit different than that. That's just a way to organize your training without having to I guess, stress about it. And then I guess another question you're going to ask is like, well, what do I do for sets and reps and everything? What's like the optimal thing to do? Well, the amount of sets per exercise isn't really that significant. Like I said, you can do 6 movements, 2 sets each, or you can do these 3 and do 4 sets each. It just matters how much total volume you're doing on whatever you're trying to hit. To get the most out of the workout, to either grow or to maintain while you're cutting. Yeah, I guess how many sets would you need to do? It's very tough to give an exact number. To put it in perspective, like a beginner, for like if someone's first time in the gym, they can do 3 sets of like barbell squats and their legs are going to grow, and they can leave after 3 sets of barbell squats. But an Olympian, a guy that's been in the gym for decades, if he goes in and just does 3 sets of barbell squats, more likely than not, he's actually going to get smaller legs. He's going to lose muscle on his legs if he continues just to do that every time he goes in to hit leg day. Because he needs a lot more volume to actually get enough stimulus out of his leg day to grow. So I point that out just because conclude that over time you're gonna have to do more and more volume per muscle group to grow. And obviously that's over a way longer time scale than you just like upping it 5 pounds the next time you go in. Or like upping the weight 5 pounds. So I'd say whatever volume you're doing now, there's a good chance that you can honestly add like another set to each of the exercises you're doing. That's like the easiest way to make sure you're doing enough volume. If I had to guess, probably been working out, let me give you an example, a couple years now, you've had of just about the same routine for a good amount of time now, or been switching it up, but like the same amount of volume, chances are it is that you're at a point where you can probably up it a little bit. And if you're doing like 3 or 4 exercises, up it just 1 more exercise set on each of them. Easy way just to check the box of you having more volume to keep pushing it, right? Instead of telling you to add just 10 more sets. So that just gives you a broad estimate of how much you can add in there. Now, rep ranges, I mean, throw in a mix of some that are like 6 to 10, some that are 10 to 15. for a reason, not just for the hell of it. So I think that's just like the most misunderstood part, where I think people try to overanalyze the hell out of it to where it's like they don't even train hard because they're trying to think about the exact rep number. So disclaimer before I explain why these rep ranges is, no matter the rep range, everything should be taken to failure regardless. None of this trying to get close to failure, trying to gauge like reps in reserve or like just close to failure is almost impossible to tell when you're doing a set. All right. If you're trying to think like, oh, do I have one more, or maybe I have a few more, 90% of the time, I'd say even like 95% of the time, you're not even close. It's just you trying to time it perfectly, when if you just train hard and let the different rep ranges deal with that part of the minimizing fatigue, you don't have to worry about it. So let me break down the rep ranges a little bit. Some of the ones that are like 6 to 8, 6 to 10, yeah, you can get more stimulus out of it for your muscle group, but let's say if I only did everything like 6 to 8 reps when I went in there, the systemic fatigue, the feeling like your head's pounding if you just like a heavy set of squats, it adds up over time. And it takes longer to recover than just your muscles ready to go in your next session. So that builds up over and over time. And eventually, that's when people are like, oh, I got to take a deload week, or oh, I need to take a few days off. My head's pounding. I feel like crap. It's because of that accumulated systemic fatigue, your CNS fatigue, and have to take those days off. So, to prevent that, instead of having to deload once a month, which I don't even take deload weeks because of the type of training I do, I don't need to, is we throw in some of them that are like 10 to 15. So you still get the stimulus without all of the migraines. I'll just put it that way. To get it, still get the amount of volume you want in a workout without saying like next week, like, dude, my head is shot right now from doing everything 6 to 8 reps to failure. That makes sense. I guess you can ask like, well, why don't I do everything 10 to 15 then? Well, I guess 6 to 8, I guess, is more effective, but there's a drawback, you know what I mean? Like I just mentioned. So for almost anything and everything, even in life, when there's a gimme, there's almost always a gotcha. Meaning like when there's a positive side of it, there's always usually a drawback, depending on what it may be. I mean, a positive of being in shape, a drawback is it takes work. It takes work to be in shape. So positive doing stuff 6 to 8 reps, sure, you may get more out of it, but you get that more systemic fatigue. So that's why we don't just do everything 10 to 15. It's because we still want some of those heavier sets to push it and get more growth. And I guess another question you'd have is, well, why don't I just do, this is where most people think they're, being smart about it. I'm not saying you're not smart for saying this, but I guess where most people may see a misunderstanding about it is like, why don't I just go in and do 6 to 8 reps of everything and just do less sets? Because then I minimized my systemic fatigue while maximizing the amount of reps I do per set to get the most growth. Like it's trying to get like the both gimmies of give me the best sets and give me the minimized fatigue, and try to avoid all the gotchas. Well, now you're missing another part where you still want to hit the total volume of the muscle group to get the most out of the day. Sure, you could do that, but you're missing out on maximizing what you have, or maximizing your training day. That less amount of 6 to 8 reps, sure, you're right on that part, but you can still crank out some that are like 10 to 15, even on the same day, and still minimize that systemic fatigue of your head pounding and feel like you need to take a rest day, and get more out of the workout. So that's how you balance both of them. And I think that's like the biggest misunderstanding about rep ranges of trying to minimize fatigue. And notice by no means any of those did I say to go near failure. I just say train as hard as you can, but let the rep ranges do their thing with the fatigue. Okay? Literally by doing something that's like 12 to 15, you're already minimizing fatigue because of the rep range while still getting a stimulus from it. So hopefully that made more sense. So we'll probably throw in quad extensions first if it's open. I want to get my knees warmed up a little bit. It's fucking cold. So I might as well just start my quad day with that. And then, yeah, if it's not open, we'll just do whatever's open. I mean, I told you, there's a pretty good amount of cars in the parking lot right now, given it's a Monday. So, yeah, I think that was a pretty good talk. I feel like I articulated that well. All right, I'll see you guys in there. I did like 3 warm-ups now. That's just my knees were cold as hell. Move this up a little bit. Obviously, I count these as sets, but I'll talk about it a little bit after the first set. I just kind of want to get this moving. Just wanted to get this workout started because I know it's already going to take like an hour and a half. I guess something I can add on to what I was talking about in the car was just with like all the references and shit. The question you could add after that is like, well, which one should I put where? Which one should I do lower? Which one should I do higher? I mean, does it matter a lot? Not really, but there are some like pros and cons to like certain ones you pick to do higher up, certain ones to do lower. This one, if I did 6 to 8, I could. I'm gonna get the same result if I did this one 6 to 8 and did like barbell squats or my squatting movement like 10 to 15. Yeah, it'll be the same thing. You're not gonna know the difference of me doing the different rep ranges, but I will say a bonus of like at least making this one higher is that my knees won't feel like they're gonna explode from doing 6 to 8 reps to failure on quad extensions. I guess that goes for a lot of movements. Some include like pec fly or bicep curls or those are just like the 3 that come to mind. So that's why this is trying to get like 10 to 15, but still obviously up in fucking weight. I feel like a lot of the times when you say like do more reps, it's like people immediately think that you're just doing like 10 pounds on the thing. Obviously, I mean still fucking move some weight around. So yeah, I mean the fact that I'll do these higher is that I'll do leg press probably somewhere between 6 to 10. Really depends. It's so damn hard to gauge exactly how many I could do or exactly how much weight to put on for leg press specifically. So I guess maybe that would be another one where it's like it's easy enough to put it at like 10 to 15 and just control them, is because gauging failure on something like a leg press is kind of a pain in the ass. So I guess throwing in the higher rep range category is easy enough. And then if I do that, then just throw less thing and just make the squats somewhere between 6 and 10. Easy enough. I guess if you've seen any of the other days, like push days or pull days, my face big. Push days or pull days, that you'll see how I organize like the rep ranges of it. Like for a chest day, the pec fly will always be a higher rep. All right.
Okay. Fucking hell. Oh, I know what I was gonna mention. I think something I started to kind of realize for at least some muscle groups, like biceps. I've been thinking like, why would I want to do anything like 6 to 8? Or at least since I thought for a while now. Kind of realize it still doesn't hurt to throw in the same exact rationale I just gave of mixing up the rep ranges, but I mean, like, obviously don't do, or at least how I'm going to switch up my bicep movements is like, I'm obviously not going to make the, if I'm doing a incline bench dumbbell curl, like when you're in an incline bench, you're back like this, something that's in like the lengthened position or something. I'm probably not going to make that one 6 to 8. Same reason why I'm not making like this thing 6 to 8. I feel like tearing my shit just trying to do a heavier dumbbell curl. So probably something that's like more secure, like a machine preacher curl or regular preacher curl, where your elbow's fixed on the spot and not sitting in like a super lengthened position, loading the hell on the weight, like crazy. I think that would make the most sense. So it's probably something I'm gonna switch up myself as well. All right, we'll do one more, and then we'll be able to do leg press. I'm mad at plate, but I guess that's kind of what I mean by I don't know what failure actually is, or I want to say it gets scary, but kind of. I just know the feeling your quads are burning. It's like out of any muscle you hit, it's got easily like one of the most uncomfortable ones. To at least try and gauge like any failure. I think shoulders is a close second, honestly. We'll throw another plate on. If we get like fucking 4, it's fine. As long as I can get the weight up, dude. It'd be too much of a pain in the ass to go to failure, have this thing sit down here, and either have to unrack everything just to start my next set, or be in some uncomfortable position to try to push it and rack it back up. All right, we'll add another plate though. Fucking hell. Yeah, I guess that's why it doesn't hurt to put an extra plate on. Still got 10. Okay. Okay. Oh shit. Fucking hell. Let's see how many I get on this. Honestly, leg press, so I got like 12, 10, 10 and 8, so I mean, I'm not overly concerned about trying to hit an exact number. So, honestly, just see how many I can do with this, and I grab this. If it's within reason, 6 and 10, I'll just keep the weight. If not, then I'll just up it. Instead of overthinking it, trying to perfect the exact weight on the bar. I don't really give a shit. Which also helps that I don't write down the exact same weight and reps that I did from the previous session, so I don't have to think about, am I getting exactly one more than last time? Week 2 of the mini cut, I've gone down 2 pounds this week. That's really the only thing that I care about that much. Apart from just coming in here and training as hard as I can. I'm doing that, moving its weight around. Scale did its job. I'm not worried about it, so. Oh shit. Fucking hell. So I will say, finding machines that you actually like fuck with, that align with like what you should be doing in a workout, brutal. So because this is probably like my favorite squat type of movement, because my quads explode after it, but all right, I'm gonna need a minute before the next set. All right.
My friends are going to actually go see You gonna use that plate?
I was going to. Yeah, go ahead. That's it for quads. Rightfully so. Little calves, little abs. Posing out of here. Okay. All right. Calf raise I want to use is taken. Let's do abs before it. Not the end of the world. It's not gonna make a difference doing abs before I finish up with calves. Whatever keeps the workout under an hour and a half at this point, dude. Whenever I get peak bulk workouts, dude, it's just like just scraping an hour and a half. Like on the lower end. Usually it ends up being like, I guess recording obviously takes an extra few minutes out of it, but like, I don't know, 2 hours or 2.5 if I don't keep up the pace. Part of this is just because I feel like it takes so much longer between sets. Just because you're always pushing yourself even more. But when I'm cutting, dude, I can get the exact same workouts in 50 minutes, under an hour, with recording. So, this is one of the upsides I'm looking forward to. Deeper into this mini cut. Alright, let's check it out. Out there. Let's do the lift. You can definitely tell my body finally transitioned into like cutting mode, I'll call it. It's been 2 weeks of the mini cut now, so your body doesn't immediately go from the past 5 months of me constantly putting on weight. It adapts to that and like, I guess, for lack of better words, primes itself to keep putting on weight. It just expects it. So once you flip that switch from 6 months of constantly gaining to starting to lose weight, it takes a minute for your body to adapt to it. Training may feel like crap for a week, but once the switch turns, you're fine. And I finally started to feel like that the past couple days. Training's good, even though I'm in a cut. Oh. Also feeling a little better, so, all right, let's talk in the car.
All right. Holy shit. Solid fucking quad day. I think you see what I meant by every set is 100% to failure. Because I was dying after each set. Even on the quad extensions. Like I was saying, like if you want to do quad extensions for 6 reps to 8 reps to failure, go for it. I just don't want to because of my knees. And I'll make up for it by going heavy on the squats you saw. It's a little less direct knee torque. Because that's like the exact thing that's getting hit. Obviously your quads, but like your knee joint, or like your knee right there is the biggest part. So they used to be part of I want to say rehab, but getting my knees back to feeling better during like the hockey season in high school. I started having something called PFPS, which is patellofemoral pain syndrome. Essentially your kneecap sits in this groove, like this bone groove that your kneecap slides through, and just from wear and tear from hockey to lifting every day, 2 hours of hockey, lift for 2 hours after, maybe only getting 6 hours of sleep or so. The groove, it has like cartilage in there to help make it smooth. Sometimes it can start scraping against the bone instead of the cartilage, like misalignment kind of is the best description, is misalignment of it. And some of the ways to help with the alignment of it, get it not back into place, but help restore better like alignment of my kneecap, this was like later in the rehab because it's directly on your knees, but do the quad extensions with like 10 pounds on there, go up, hold it for like 3 seconds at the top, and then go back down. Up, hold it for 3 seconds, go back down, like squeeze at the top, and then squeezes directly on your kneecap there. So that would help strengthen that without overloading it. Like if I'm trying to help strengthen that with like a rehab thing, and you're trying to do 80 pounds in there, you're just gonna hurt it and ruin it and make it worse. So that's how I made it work. Yeah, I just brought that up to explain how it hits directly your kneecap. So yeah. What you guys want to know? Tomorrow's a rest day. I'm not gonna end the talk now. I'm gonna talk a little more, but I guess something I can mention is we'll talk about part of the end of my bulk and my mini cut now, and I'll make it worth your while, like educational, at least something you can take from it. The end of my bulk this time, as well as before I started my prep, dude, to get like a quality bulk in before doing a cut to make it super smooth, the amount of food you eat at the end of it is, I guess, ridiculous. I'll say that. Just because you want to push a bulk to the max, and I'm not just saying just make yourself fat, but I'm saying you gradually increase calories to get the longest bulk you can to string on muscle. That's why bulks over months, not just a week. And to really push the end of it to get your metabolism up there, to have a really good starting point to cut, or like for a prep, like just the force feeding, it's fucking wild. Maybe not wild, but like it's a lot. And I will say, a lot of guys that said they want to be like a pro bodybuilder, they want to be full time, yada yada. A lot about the sport you don't know much about yet. That's one part of it. That was definitely a big part of it that I noticed, is like it takes so much time out of your day to eat those meals that, like, if you're trying to pursue something else as well, like numerous goals, it takes away from it, man. And it got me to the point where it's like I have to pick if I want to just like continue going, try to be pro, or keep on top of everything, but push back the bulking for a couple of years, work on my other goals, then come back to it. Because the amount of time it takes to eat all these meals and how it affects your brain, and just eating that many carbs, tough thinking. It's kind of a decision I made, but it's definitely something to consider if you're like, man, I just really want to be pro. And it's very easy to say that at a young age, my age, even younger. Very easy to say that. I'm definitely not trying to discourage it, by no means. If you want to, go for it. I just think try and compete with having a coach's guidance as early as you can. Not too early, because you want to actually look presentable on stage and don't feel like you're going to embarrass yourself going to compete 2 years into lifting, right? But just to dip your toes in the water and see if you like truly enjoy it and it's what you thought it was going to be like. So that was a big part of why I competed 5 years into working out, and I got a lot out of it. And I realized a lot of it, I was like, man, this is not really what I thought it was. It was a lot of diet and prepping and just all the above, hours and hours and hours of it. And dude, you're on stage for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Like, it's not like you're playing like a hockey game or something where you get a good amount of time in there. Like a whole hockey game, like 60 minutes. Like, dude, you're on stage for 30 seconds for prejudging. Finals, you get a minute routine, and that's it. Hours and hours and hours of what you do for that, which some people be like, yeah, that's fine. Even then, like, it's like getting the tan on, shaving, the peak week, all this for that one tiny moment. It was cool for sure being there, just the experience. I just felt like, man, it was a lot just for this. And I don't know, that was something that was more eye-opening to me. I still love the sport, don't get me wrong. It's just something you wouldn't have thought of, or I didn't think of. Just telling myself, yeah, I want to be a pro, yeah, I'm going to be a pro. And I probably would have never thought of that unless I experienced it. That was a big part. That was like, man, this is not what I thought it was to be. And what else? I guess another part was seeing how PEDs, steroids, like really affect people mentally. Physically, yes. People all know about like the side effects physically, like, oh yeah, like acne or super hairy or I don't know, lower voice. I don't know. There's a laundry list of shit, but most people don't really realize the neurological effects in your brain, dude. Like, I didn't realize it. It does really mentally mess people up. And yeah, sure, you hear like roid rage, whatever, but like, I'm talking beyond that. I'm talking like an IQ decline. It's hard to think straight. Cognitively less, or less cognitive functioning. I think the big part was just like the mental decline. That it really just was off-putting to me. This is obviously more, I guess, higher doses, but even at like low doses, dude, if you're still thinking like, man, I just want to do like a low dose of TRT, it's like, even then, man, stuff still affects your brain for a show. So that's why I kind of find it wild when, I guess it does affect your brain to the point where you feel fine saying it. Some guys my age will be like, yeah, dude, like, just take a low dose of TRT. Like, dude, you do not need that shit. You do not. I don't even care if you go to the doctor and like, man, my test is like 500, 600. Like, dude, that's a normal range. You're good. Get your diet up. Get your training up. Get a coach that knows what he's doing. You're fine. It'll literally go up 300 like nanograms from having a good diet and not eating shit and also training hard. That'll boost as well. So yeah, went off topic there, but yeah, that all plays into what I got out of my experience of competing for the first time at 21 years old. So that's kind of why I'm like, man, I'm still going to train hard. I'm still going to be on top of my diet, but maybe I'll push the competing off until later in my life, and let me go reach some of these other goals first, and then I'll reconsider in a few years. That's what I got. I didn't just say, F this, I'm taking it off the table, I'm not going to work out anymore. Or screw this diet because these guys look like what I don't want to be. I just took the approach of like, let's stay on top of everything because I enjoy it and just postpone the eating part. And you're good. Don't have to make a final decision this moment for the rest of my life. So, that being said, main focus now is getting fucking bread. Graduating in a few months. Gotta stay on top of that. So, yeah, I think it was a good talk. At least some things I learned that maybe you didn't know as well going into thinking you want to be a pro or competing or all the above. So, alright. Tomorrow we got rest day. No video tomorrow. Day after that, chest. Biceps. Hamstrings. Damn, my quads are sore as shit. Rest day. Shoulders, back, quads. Repeat. So, appreciate y'all watching. If you got any questions, let me know. And I'll see you guys in 2 days. Peace.